Hi guys, Steph here. Now what do we have for you today? I'll tell you what we have. We've got a absolutely lovely Onoto Minor 1201 B7 fountain pen. Now, as we'll show you in a moment, this is a plunger fountain pen. Now this particular model they come in numerous different colours. As you can see, this one is this absolutely gorgeous blue translucent lattice pattern. Now, although I call it a lattice pattern, there's other terms. Well, they're actually known as a brickwork pattern. Some people call it the web. Some people call it a mesh. And also it's actually been known as to be called the hatch pattern as well. Again, sometimes I term this particular pattern as the hatch pattern. Now, as I say, it comes in this blue, well, we'll call it lattice for this particular video, this lovely blue lattice pattern. Let's show you a little bit of a close-up there. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I've actually already shown you the same model in the green hatch or lattice pattern, so if you want to go and have a look at that, go and have a look at the green one. But because I've got this blue one, I've just finished restoring it. We've put new washers inside, we've put new cork washers to the end, and we've fully restored it, cleaned it thoroughly. Absolutely beautiful example. Now let's show you the imprint on the pen. Now what I've done, I've highlighted it for you so you can actually see it, because on these pens they're sometimes difficult to see, but you can actually see there it says Onoto Minor, and then underneath there it's got the sort of the Delarue sort of made in England imprint as well. Let's bring it a little bit closer for you. Okay, so there you can see the lovely clear imprint. Also on this particular pen, if we turn it round to the other side there, you can see it says, is it pattern applied for, or whatever it actually says, but again you can read it there, again nice and clear. And also on these pens, generally you'll find most of them are actually worn, but to the bottom, to the plunger knob, again, let's keep it nice and still, and I'm hoping you can see there it's got the model number, it's got 1201, and then underneath it says B7. Okay, so there's let's show you the plunger knob as well there. The size of this pen from the top of the cap to the bottom is approximately 119 millimeters capped around the barrel, approximately 11 millimeters in diameter, and as I say, you can see it's got this, as we said earlier, this black plunger knob to the end here, and to the top of the cap there it's got this black cap stud, if you like. Now, one thing you may notice on this one, it looks like it has a replacement clip on it, because I don't know if you can notice, to the very top there the clip is slightly short, but the clips on these particular pens are very difficult to find. I believe they had what they termed as a teardrop clip on these particular models, as you'll see on the green model that I've also done a video on. But although saying that, it's quite an acceptable clip, I think, and looks fine in my opinion. To the bottom of the cap there, you can see it's got this thin cap band to the bottom there. Now if we unscrew the cap for you, let's show you the pen, give you different angles. An absolutely beautiful example. As I say, it's fully restored in absolutely gorgeous condition. The nice thing about these pens, again, I always find it difficult to show on these videos, is the translucency of this particular pattern and the plastic. You can actually see it in the cap there. Okay, you can see how translucent it is, and the translucency is also not as much as the cap, but in the barrel as well, but again very difficult to show on the videos. Now let's show you this section there. You can see it's got a slightly tapered section with a little lip towards the nib there. Let's show you the nib. What you'll see, it's got a warranted 14 carat Delarue and Company Limited number 22 nib. Let's keep it nice and still for you, and if we turn it sideways just to give you a sideways view, there you go, and underneath there we've got the standard Onoto feed underneath there. As you can see, lovely and clean and ready to go. Now, because we've recently restored this pen, as I say, there's new washes in it, so what we'll do, let's show you, well, it's as good as time any to test the pen. How these pens work, as I've told you before, unscrew the plunger knob to the end and just simply pull out the plunger like so. And again, I've told you before, to fill these pens, you fill them by pushing down on the plunger and not by pulling the plunger. So let's bring some ink in. Let's pop the nib in the ink, and I'll be quiet at this point and let's see if we can hear it filling. Okay, and I'm hoping you could hear that. There was a nice satisfying bubbling sound, a nice sort of plopping sound. Now what we do, let's simply screw the plunger knob all the way back in, bring on some paper, and we just keep our fingers crossed for a moment. No, everything should be fine. I would have thought. We're getting a slight drip there, so let's clear that. So what we have is a Onoto, as we said. This one is the 1201 and the model is a B7. We date this pen from around about the 1930s, I'd say late 1930s. As I say, fully restored, lovely writer, just a little bit on the scratchy side, but nothing to be concerned about. It's actually a very, very nice writer. Now, if we go on the downward stroke there with a little bit of pressure, you can see we're getting a nice line variation. On the downward stroke it's slightly thicker, the cross stroke is quite fine. So if we do the figure of eights with a little bit of pressure on the downward stroke, and there we go, you can see we're getting a lovely line variation. So let's show you that. So as you can see, we're getting a nice variation. This nib has got some flex to it, a nice writer. As we said, it's the Onoto 1201 B7 from around about the 1930s. So as I say, I've already done one on the green model, so I'm going to try and keep this nice and short. So there we have it, the Onoto Minor 1201 B7 in this lovely blue translucent lattice or hatch pattern. An absolutely beautiful example. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen, as always, as much as I love showing them to you. Don't forget, I've got lots and lots of other videos. Go and take a look. Don't be shy, leave a comment. But for now, I'll just say ta-ra.